was a queen. She lived in Queens.
I'm Queen Lovely. So today we are going to be talking about Summer Walker. She has stirred up quite a controversy once again on social media because she had put out a picture basically talking about, women and our beauty standards and what we strive for. And she's just been putting out a string of posts about, mental health awareness and spiritual enlightenment and whatnot. And some people were rubbed the wrong way. Before I get into this video, please be sure to hit the thumbs up and make sure you comment below and take part in the discussion. We are very friendly. So here's the thing with Summer Walker, okay? First and foremost, I have compassion and empathy for the stage of her life that she's in because I've been there before. I feel like Summer Walker is in the midst of healing. Summer Walker is in the midst of acknowledgement, and she's in the midst of awareness. And what people sometimes fail to realize is that's not a linear journey where it's just like straight to the top. There are going to be moments where you make mental, emotional, and spiritual strides in your journey. And there's going to be moments where you hit like a roadblock and you kind of go back a few steps and you have to stay there until you collect something that will help you to move forward. I feel like with Summer Walker, the reason why she has the tendency to rub people the wrong way is because she is a walking, talking contradiction. This is the thing. The saying is teachers teach because they can't do. And I feel like that's a perfect saying to describe Summer Walker. I feel like she has a lot of potential, and it is in her soul's journey to become spiritually enlightened and even help people and women specifically that represent this moment that she's currently in. You are pregnant by a man who has 3 kids with 3 other women, and they're all in litigation with him. They say that he's an absentee father. He does not provide emotionally or financially, and that's who you're pregnant with. And you even went on your social media when it came out that you was pregnant and made it very clear that by you having a baby with this man, you are continuing a generational curse because you said your father wasn't really present. He wasn't ish, as you put it. Your grandfather wasn't ish. And now you're having a child with a man who's not ish. These are her words that came out of her mouth. However, Summer Walker continues to engage London on the track. He had put up a picture where they was hanging out. And, the thing with her is it's like you're trying to be this spiritual guru and you're trying to overcompensate for the fact that you have low self-esteem and you don't know which way is up or down by constantly soliciting opinions, facts, and social media posts that make you appear to seem like you're so enlightened and you have it together, but clearly you don't, because when we actually look at the actions that you are taking in your life, they don't align with the words that come out of your mouth. Nobody is perfect. I've definitely been there where, especially in the beginning of my spiritual journey where you're accumulating all this knowledge and this wisdom and you could be real excited to share it. But you have to be self-aware enough to know what the underlying intention and reason is for you sharing it. Are you distributing this information because you really want people to do better and reach their highest potentials in the way that God sees fit for them? Or are you doing this as an ego stroke to you because you feel low about yourself, you feel inadequate, and this is a way for you to feel good about yourself. This is a way for you to feel important and feel like you're leaving a substantial mark on this world. And that's just what I get from Summer Walker. So here's the thing. This is the advice that I'm going to give her. This is your spiritual advising session, Summer. You have to first make peace with the fact that despite having access to certain tools and information, you still went ahead and made a decision that did not align with your higher self. You need to acknowledge that. You need to admit that. Whatever emotions come up, if you have to cry, if you have to scream, if you have to shout, feel bad about it, go through that so that you could begin the process of forgiving yourself and healing and moving on. Okay, I don't want Summer Walker to be someone that's just in a state of regret and being miserable, especially while she's carrying her unborn child, because that child is already picking up on your trauma and your emotional, mental, and spiritual distress as it marinates inside of your womb. So I want her to really get to a place where she's just like, you know what? This was not the best decision. I don't know everything the way that I think I know everything, and that's okay. But I still have the rest of my life to learn and do better. And yes, you may have continued a generational curse by having a child with a man who is an absentee dad, and he has a world of issues himself. But just because you did that does not mean you have to see that generational curse through. And what I mean by that is sometimes, we can see a repetitive pattern in our families that are not really positive, and we could say, okay, I don't want that to be me, but then somehow or another, because of the decisions we make, we take a wrong turn and we end up in the same predicament. But just because you're in that predicament, it does not mean that you have to punish yourself for the rest of your life and punish that child or the people around you by just saying, you know what, I'm gonna be bitter, I'm gonna be miserable, I'm just gonna be a perpetual fuck up. Because when you make a decision to say, you know what, I fucked up, I'm a piece of shit, I'm this, that, and the third, I'm stupid, it's kind of a defense mechanism, and it's kind of a way to avoid accountability. Because if you really allow somebody to hold you accountable and you really hold yourself accountable through, periods of introspection and shadow work, you will do better, right? But if you just kind of go, I'm just the fuck up, I'm da 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 da, it's kind of an excuse to continue to, stay in that space of, stagnancy and not progress as a spiritual being who's having a physical experience. I am going to encourage and suggest that Summer Walker gets off of social media for the rest of 2021. Get off of social media for the rest of 2021. If you are not already, I'm going to suggest that you do therapy once a week. I'm also going to suggest that in culmination with therapy, that you seek out a spiritual advisor that is really about helping you and not someone that's mesmerized by the fact that you're Summer Walker. Because I also find that too, you have these celebrities and public figures that get spiritual advisors and so on and so forth. But then the reality of the situation is sometimes these people are so mesmerized by, oh my God, I'm spiritually advising Mimi Leaks and etc. I don't think they really take you to task the way that they're supposed to. And we've seen this time and time again where you have these therapists and whatnot come on these talk shows, reality TV shows or whatever the case may be. And they're supposed to be counselors, but it's just like the way in which you do it is like counterproductive to this person's healing. So that's what I'm going to suggest. When it comes to her in London on the track, here's the thing. I'm never going to come down on a woman who is trying her hardest to have a harmonious energy with the child, the child's father, the children's father, because, nobody wants to be in a situation where they have a child with somebody. You're bringing a whole human being into this world that's going to bond y'all for life. And because y'all not on good terms, now this child is constantly in this tug of war type of thing. So I don't really have a problem with Summer Walker, trying to make it work for the sense of co-parenting. But if she is still in the space of trying to make it work for the sense of being in a romantic relationship and, doing music together, I don't support that. I don't think it's going to serve her in the higher timelines. And once again, coming back to the suggestion of therapy and spiritual advisement, that man is just not for you. He put a baby in you, fine. Draw up the papers so he could pay his child support. visitation, whatever the case may be. Are you going to get full custody? Is it going to be a joint custody situation? But after that, it don't need to be no contact. And this is how we get caught up in repetitive loops of toxicity, because it's like she really hasn't had a moment to really find herself outside of being in a relationship. And now here comes a baby. So she has to assume this role of motherhood, but she has yet to really begin, to go on that journey of womanhood and who Summer Walker is as a woman outside of I'm an artist and I'm a mom. So, I wish her the best of luck. It's not impossible. Your life is not over, Summer Walker. But I would just highly encourage and suggest that for the sake of your unborn child, you really begin to just think about yourself in a higher way. Because if you were, some of the things that you say and do wouldn't be the case. And that's just it. This is my spiritual advising session for Summer Walker. Let me know below in the comments what you think about, her recent post on social media and the things that she said. And what are some suggestive approaches and solutions that you can offer her so that she can reach her highest potential in the higher timelines. Have a nice day.